Turn it over now to Brian Tucker.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Brian.
Before I get started, I just want to say one thing. I want to thank you for having me. And I've probably given this presentation a million times, but one thing about it, there's nothing like giving it in front of a bunch of people that already know you, especially those that have had a couple cocktails. All right? So I'm going to go through this. I know we have a limited amount of time, and I may go a little bit fast. So if you feel like I'm going too fast or you have questions, come and hit me at the end. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. So this gives you a little bit of perspective of some of the clients that I help. These are some of the larger ones. High technology companies I really do a lot of business with because I do have a technology background, but I have been doing sales and marketing consulting for a long time. And then what I found was over about the last 3 years, smaller businesses and smaller business owners suffer from a lot of the same problems that a lot of these businesses struggle with, but they struggle with it on a much more smaller and a much more complex level, but they really don't have anybody that they can go to. They don't have anybody that they can call. It's kind of a niche thing. A lot of businesses say, hey, I'm just a one-man person, but I want to grow my business. I spend too much time working in my business, not on my business, trying to grow my business. I need help. So what I have done over the last couple of years is taken a lot of the strategies that I use with the larger businesses, and I've actually created some programs and some systems that smaller businesses can use to their advantage, much like the larger businesses do, to grow. And so that's some of the things that I'm going to talk to you about today. And that's going to be local marketing in an online world, because let's face it, more and more, everything is starting to move online. And for a lot of smaller business owners, local business owners, especially those in smaller communities, it's difficult to grasp working and getting your business online because you're so used to doing things traditionally in smaller towns, and all of that is changing. And we're going to go through a little bit of that. So today, what I'm going to talk about is how and why marketing is changing for local businesses. And what I mean by local businesses are business owners just like you. Not in Decatur, Champaign, Springfield, big cities. This is happening everywhere across the world. And it's a big problem. A lot of these are big problems that business owners are struggling with and they're facing right now, and they're not really sure what to do. They don't have the capability. They're not sure where to go. I'm going to talk a little bit about where marketing for local businesses is headed, 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, and in the future, how you could potentially start future-proofing your local business right now. And I'm going to give you a 6-step plan quickly of things that you could do over the weekend, and by Monday, have some of these things done and up and running for your business that will absolutely help you right out of the gate. Okay? Now, if I could just get this clicker to work. First thing I just want to set the stage is, one of the things that I run into a lot with business owners are they don't really understand what marketing is. They're used to hearing the word advertising. And traditionally, in smaller local businesses, mid-sized businesses, there's this mindset about advertising. An ad salesman comes to you, they sell you some advertising, you buy the advertising. You put a newspaper ad in, you do a radio ad, you do a television ad in, you hope the phone calls and that you convert it into a sale. Advertising, as you'll see on the right, is just one small subset of marketing. Marketing is a full process and a full strategy that businesses use to long-term grow what their business is. And to kind of put it into perspective, advertising, if you look at this wheel right here, it starts at the top with marketing and works its way around. Advertising is really in this step right here. So what happens is a lot of smaller businesses start here and don't really have a strategy. They haven't put a tactical plan together. They really don't have a marketing plan, and they just kind of take chances and say, well, I'll try this, maybe that'll work, or maybe I'll try this type of advertising and that'll work. I had a client that called me yesterday. He says, Brian, I've tried everything. Radio, TV, newspaper, billboards. I can't get anything to work. I'm really not sure what I'm doing. He's just trying everything that he possibly can. Well, this is a type of person that doesn't know there's actually a strategy and there's actually a system behind that you can put together long-term that will help you strategically grow your business. So with that in mind, I want to put things into perspective. So when I talk about how things are changing for businesses, how things are moving, some of you may be old enough to remember when the telephone was fairly new. Some of you may remember it as you were a kid. But to put it into perspective, it took 75 years for the telephone to reach 50 million people. Okay? You look at the radio, you look at television, it came along, technology progressed much faster. Then we started to get into the early days of the internet, and as you can see, it took about 4 years for the World Wide Web to catch on and hit 50 million people. Now, as you go down the scale, what you'll see is Facebook hit 50 million in 3.5 years, and then we get into things like apps that come out for your iPhone or your iPod. These things can hit 50 million users in less than 2 or 3 weeks. So things are really moving fast. It's difficult to keep up when you're working, but one of the things that I always keep as a motto is change is the only constant that you're going to run into in life. It's going to happen. Things are going to change. Some of us have a hard time embracing change. Some of us don't deal with change well, and that's okay. But as business owners, what we have to understand is we have to deal with change, because if we don't change constantly with the times, we're going to be in big trouble, right? And so, as I said, when we were kids, when we needed information, we went to this thing called the encyclopedia, and we'd sit down and look it up and take a lot of time. What has changed is nowadays we Google it. If we're looking for some information or we're looking for something, we jump on the internet, we look it up, and if somebody's coming to Shelbyville and they're looking for places to eat in Shelbyville, they're going to type it into Google and they're going to see things like the Long Branch, Yenching. They're going to click on that, they're going to go to it, they're going to check it out. This is not only for people who may be looking for things. Maybe I just want the telephone number to call them up tonight because I want to make an order and I can't remember what the phone number is. You used to call directory assistance. Now you just click it on your phone, you search it in, boom, you hit it, you're going. So information has evolved. And so the way I look at it is, if change is the only constant, we cannot, as business owners, continue to focus on past success. Because if we continue to focus on what's worked in the past, with all of the things that are changing, we're going to have a problem. We must never say never. And I like to say, as a business owner or somebody who is always wanting to take the next step, you cannot play where the puck is at. People that are successful almost in anything, whether it be sports, business, whatever it is, they play where the puck is going to be. And that's where you really need to be. And so you have to prepare yourself to succeed, and you have to know where that puck is going to be. And so I'm going to walk you through a few things here. They're going to show you where things are headed so you can have a better idea. Now, I'm going to have a reality check with you here. Some of you may be familiar with this, but the bottom line is most people haven't picked up a phone book in 5 years. When was the last time anybody in here used a phone book? Wow. It's not most people, right? Some of your customers have never used one. And as we go through this, I'm going to show you that your customers tomorrow never will. So while the phone book does still work for certain things, you guys know as well as I do, that's changing every day. And that's just one thing that makes it difficult for business owners, especially in smaller towns, is they used to rely on putting a phone book ad in. And, if you were at the top of the phone book or you had the biggest ad in there, then you were going to get the most calls. And it doesn't quite work like that anymore. So this next little piece I'm going to show you may be a little bit controversial. It may raise the hair up on some people's necks. But the fact of the matter is, local media is being replaced every day, faster and faster, okay? Newspaper is being taken over by things, social media like Facebook and Twitter. You guys that are on Facebook, some of you may not be on, but you know as well as I do, you can get information of the things that are going on around town, whether they be events, gossip, or whatever, faster on Facebook than they'll ever hit the local newspaper. It's the bottom line, okay? Even situations with obituaries. We used to go to the newspaper and read the obituaries. That used to be a high advertising spot in the newspaper. You can get the information for that on Facebook faster than it'll ever make it to the newspaper. You'll have all the information that you need. Radio, it still is prevalent. In fact, radio is probably one of the most prevalent marketing pieces that there are out there. But the younger generation is replacing these things like iTunes Radio, Pandora. They're downloading, they're streaming this stuff on their phone. XM radio has no commercials. They're able to listen to it. They're able to pay subscriptions. And that's a problem for local business owners as that starts to go away, because the local radio advertising that you used to depend on is starting to fade, and it doesn't have the listening audience that it used to. Same thing with TV. It's being replaced by things like YouTube, Hulu, Netflix, streaming. Even DVR is slowly becoming obsolete, which was the hottest thing just a couple years ago. My kids scream at me when the internet is not working and they can't get their kids' shows off the computer that's hooked to the television in the living room. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It's awful. I get, Dad, what's up with the internet? What are you doing up there? So the fact is, as you can see, advertising options are changing for local business owners. And this is just a little graph that I like to put up here. This reflects ad spending for small and local businesses, year 2012 versus year 2013. And what you'll see here is, with the exception of a small sliver in cable TV and a small one in cinema and movies, all of them have declined year over year, with the only one that is growing is online. It is the fastest growing medium. Marketing your business or any product or service that you have online right now is the fastest growing medium. The bottom line is the internet's where we go to find things. And 75 or 97% of internet users look for local stuff online. And I even do it myself, even if I don't, even if I know what's going on in town and I know where to go. Sometimes I'll go on there and I'll look for a telephone number or whatever it is, and I'll get information. It's there. Facebook. You used to go to the classified section. Now you go on Facebook and people are, selling their stuff. Shelby County Regifting, come take this clothes out of my house or whatever it is. All of this stuff is now online, local services, products. And while there are close to 1 billion PCs in people's houses worldwide right now, times are changing. But some great things about this, and these are just some short bullets that you can check out. You may or may not know these. But 90% of all online commercial searches result in a purchase, okay? 82% of people that search on the internet follow up by email, phone call, or a voicemail to buy. These are pretty interesting numbers. 88% of consumers who search for a local mobile business on a mobile device call or go to that business within 24 hours. I can tell you right now, there is no more qualified buyer than an internet searcher. You will not find one. They are educated. They know what they're looking for. They know what they want. They typically want it right now. They've already made their buying decision. They're researching. They're trying to find out who has what they want, where it's at, how much it costs, and they're going to come by. Okay, they've usually got their credit card out at that point. But mobile search locally has increased 500% year over year. I was kind of slow to the iPhone. I was a BlackBerry guy. Said you would never be able to pry this thing out of my cold, dead hands. I never thought, even in my business, that mobile would take over as fast as it did. I mean, it's come out of nowhere. And I'm going to show you some information here that's kind of mind-blowing as far as how fast it has grown and how crazy it is and how much power it has. But the reality is that the majority of small business owners don't even have a website. They don't. And of the ones that do, they usually don't keep it up. They're frustrated with it. They don't get any traffic from it. They don't get any buyers in it. How many people in here have a website? Business owners. How many people have updated it within the last year? How many updated it within the last 6 months? Okay, that's good. Now, 6% of those businesses that have them are mobile compatible. Who in here has a website that is mobile compatible that they know 100% that will pull up on their phone and work perfectly? That's about right. Okay, so here's why I'm getting to this. Remember in the good old days? All right? When your wife used to tell you, I don't know why you have a map, and the guy would say, I'll just drive, and eventually I'll pull over to the gas station and we'll get there, right? This is how it used to work. All right, in fact, I don't even think I've seen a map like that in a long time, to be honest with you. But now, we can ask for directions on our phone, and it's coming to the point where they're just putting this in your car, and you can push a button and say, take me to X, Y, and Z, and you're there. And Shelbyville is very unique in the fact that we have the lake and we have tourists. So they come here, they look for things, they're looking for things to do, places to go, places to eat, services to buy, products to shop for, etc. So some of these things that I'm going to point out to you are much more important to a community like Shelbyville, whereas a community that doesn't have quite as much tourism as we do. So you've got all these people coming down. They're coming from St. Louis, they're coming from Chicago, they're coming from the larger cities, and they're looking for stuff to do on their computers before they leave and on their cell phones when they get here. And 1 in 5 of the searches that they do are local. When they're here, it's probably more. And even when it comes to buying or business, customers look online. I always tell a business to say if they're going to put information online and try to sell their products or services, they should think in a 60-mile radius. So if I own a heating and air conditioning business and I want to grow my business, why would I only list it online for Shelbyville? Why wouldn't I try to get it online for Mattoon and Charleston and Pana and Decatur and Effingham? Because people are online, they're looking, and if your business is positioned there, they will potentially find you, they will call you, they will shop, they will get prices, they know what they want, they know what they want to buy. They're just looking for somebody to sell it to them. So I always say, think in a 60-mile radius. Now, here are 5 ways. Some people say, oh, I'm a local business. I don't use the internet. I don't see any use for it. We've been doing it this way forever. Here are 5 of the clearest and most concise ways that I know that businesses can grow online. A local business can grow online doing online marketing. Okay, the first one is just flat out increasing their local search visibility to consumers and to tourists. If you don't have your information online in some shape or form, even if a basic website, even if it's a 1-page website, it doesn't matter. As long as it's got your information on there, if somebody's searching for you and they can't find you, you do not exist. It's just like looking in the phone book. Your listing is not there, so how would they ever know to call you? You can position yourself next to a similar customer of any size, anywhere. So if I own again, a heating and air conditioning business in Shelbyville, and there's a big competitor that's in Decatur that is way bigger than me, I can position my business right next to them online. People go and they search, they find that competitor, they call them. The competitor doesn't call them back for a week because they don't have good service. They call me, I respond on the same day. Next thing you know, I'm doing an estimate, and here we go, we're dealing. You can expand your local products and services footprint. So basically, you can sell more of what you do in more places. You can actually sell different types and diversify what your products and services are. And you can do that by also taking your stuff and selling it online. I just picked up a customer in Champaign. They resell other brands of shoes. So they're basically drop shipping other brands of shoes. So if you're selling a certain type of product and you think, hey, this product might be complementary to mine and I don't carry it right now, you could potentially sell that online to customers and never touch anything and sell it right out of their store right directly and just be a broker of it. So there's a lot of different things. You got to innovate locally and expand. Now, again, I'm going to get into some more stuff here. I'm going to talk a little bit about mobile, but you remember in the old days, again, when long distance used to be walking all the way down, the end of the hallway and hiding in the closet with the cord to talk to your boyfriend or girlfriend there. We all know that we have kind of progressed from this. And in the mid-90s, this new great thing came along called a cell phone that really, really started to get popular. And I like to show this picture and put it into perspective because at about that time, these were some of the technology devices that were being used. We had a Sony Walkman, the Nintendo was hot there, and we did kind of things manually. We had a recipe book on the counter. Today, all of these things are right here and then some. These things are becoming obsolete by the minute. Handheld cameras are going away because the cameras on your phone have become so popular and so powerful that you just don't even need it. In fact, we've become so dependent on our phones that some of us can't even go an hour without checking our cell phone, let alone minutes. It's crazy, okay? How do you feel when you can't find your phone or you leave the house and you don't have your phone? Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I feel like I don't have any clothes on. It's crazy. Fact is, 26 hours to report a wallet stolen, 68 minutes to report a lost phone. Okay? Now, we haven't got any warmed up yet now. It's gonna get better. 72% of all mobile phone users keep their device less than 5 feet from them at all times. How many people in here sleep with their phone? Be honest. Elizabeth, I know you do. Anybody else? How many people put it on their nightstand? How many people put it under their pillow? How many people put it right here? I do. Okay, but you can see this. 54% of people are on their phone while they're in bed. They're downtime. They're not doing anything. They're doing it at church. They're sneaking, right? It's crazy. Okay, so Soon there's going to be more mobile devices on this planet than we're going to have people to use them. There are more mobile devices than toothbrushes. Okay, and there's more mobile phones and TVs. So I think you guys kind of get the hit. But here kind of shows you how it's changing right now. This is about May of 2014. This is mobile usage right here. And this is traditional desktop usage that we use in our house. As you can see, mobile has surpassed it. More people use their mobile devices to access the internet than they do a computer at home. And the good thing about this is it takes 90 minutes, more than 90 minutes, for the average person to respond to an email. It takes 90 seconds or less to respond to one on your mobile device or text message, okay? 70% of all mobile searches result in an action within 1 hour. I'd say it's probably less. You find it, you click it, you call it, you got it, yep, I'll be right over, okay? Same thing, call Ace. Hey, you got that pipe part I'm looking for? Yeah, I do. I don't have to make 9 trips back and forth to Ace like I do every time I try to fix a plumbing leak. Mobile coupons get 10 times the redemption rate of any traditional coupon. So this is pretty powerful stuff. But then if you even break it down further, what you'll see is this is actually smartphone usage, and you can see it's kind of going and doing its thing. This is tablet usage, iPads, Android devices, right? It's going to surpass even the mobile phone itself. In fact, pretty soon, desktop computers are going to be pretty much obsolete. We look for things on the go. I don't want to just repeat what's on the slide here, but I think it's pretty obvious that we are very connected to these devices. Anybody have this problem at home? Or maybe this problem with their kids? This guy right here, he's plugged in on the front porch. These kids are going to school. They're talking about what's going to go on in their day. They're getting all acquainted with each other. Sometimes somebody wants to babysit. They're keeping an eye on the kids. And then lastly, here's, some of my kids right here. Now, I tell you, I've seen this picture probably several hundred times. Today, for the first time, I'm not very attentive sometimes, but for the first time, what I noticed is, what's this lady doing in the back here? I wonder if he's texting her. Fact is, when you combine mobile and social, there's so much opportunity there. It is just basically untapped. 1 in 7 people are on Facebook. People are on Facebook all the time. And of those people that are on Facebook, 77% of them do it from a mobile device. Okay? Mobile has increased 400% or 40% year over year. They're 200 times more active on a mobile device than they are when they're sitting at home on their computer. It's constant, and I'll tell you, I was late to Facebook, very, very late. I was probably 2 years late to Facebook. I'm kind of a late adopter with certain things. I was with my BlackBerry. I was with going to Facebook. When I got on Facebook and I started to see the potential for local business owners and for business in general with the social aspect of it, and it's not just Facebook, it's mixing the different types of social media together, I said, aha, this is it right here. There's a massive amount of opportunity there. One of the things that you'll probably hear is that Facebook is on the decline. It depends on how you look at it, okay? Facebook has cut their local business pages down to about 1% visibility with your friends. So if you have 1,000 friends on your Facebook business page and you post something, only 1% of it is going to see it. However, if you advertise with them, which is dirt cheap, you can push that up to 70 to 80% of your friends and other people who are not friends of you seeing that advertising, and it's just ridiculously cheap. I mean, you couldn't touch any other kind of advertising for as cheap as this is. And it works big time. I'm going to show you some examples of that as we go. Video, YouTube, okay? I talked to you about how that has taken over. More video has been uploaded to YouTube in the last 60 days than the 3 major US networks created in 60 years. It is constantly new stuff. You see things. Anybody see the video yesterday about the boy that got attacked by the dog and the cat chased the cat off? Yep, okay. I told my wife, you got to see this. I don't want to see the kid bit. I said, you got to see this. Okay, that thing's had like a couple million views just overnight. It's crazy how fast the stuff goes. The thing is, with video, if you use that for local business advertising, a video converts 6 times higher than any picture that you will ever give to any customer. I always say a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1,000,000. If you have something in video, think about it. A lot of successful business owners advertise on TV. They do a lot of advertisement, Champaign, Decatur, Springfield, St. Louis, wherever they do it. Take that same principle and apply it and get it on a search engine and get it ranked up there. People are searching for you. They're not watching TV being interrupted. They're searching for your type of service and they find your video. They're 6 times more likely to click on that and pick up the phone and call you than anybody else on the page. Okay? Facebook, I talked about it dwindling off. These are your customers tomorrow. By 2020, half of the workforce is going to be millennials, people born between 1980 and 2000. And these are the things that they're focused on right now. Instagram, Snapchat, Kick, Vine. It's a little thing that you can string these short little videos together that roll and roll and roll. Text Now, Pinterest, which is basically like a picture version of Facebook. A lot of females use it. They like to share pictures of weddings and flowers and things that they do in their house and their yard and all this stuff. These things are exploding at a rate that is just going to blow Facebook completely out of the water. And 1 in 3 of these millennials watch online video more than they watch TV, my daughters. Okay, so this kind of gives you a better idea. And the fact of the matter is that businesses that can be found online are growing faster. So you guys Google, you look for stuff on Google. Here's just some quick numbers for you. The first 3 listings of Google get 80% of the clicks. If you're not in the top 3 on Google, chances are people aren't gonna click on you. In fact, of these bottom positions, you will get more clicks if you are on page 2, the number 1 position, than if you were in here. Because what happens is people go and they look at the first 3, they click, they go to the second page, they see number 1, they click it and they go to it. I've seen it, I've done the testing on it, it's crazy. Like I said, video clicks, 6 times more active, 6 times more likely convert to any web page. Google loves videos because Google owns YouTube. So they love video. They want to see it in their search engine rankings. Now, I call this the doctor you send them. Anybody in here ever get like a back pain, or maybe they're having an anxiety attack, or they got a headache or some strange thing, or maybe they want to know how to, do some work in their yard? Do you guys go on Google and try to figure out how to do it? Or maybe you go on YouTube. I call this the Dr. You syndrome. Man, I got a pain in my back. I don't know what it is. I better go online and look at it. I hope I'm not having a heart attack. Okay, so that's exactly how search works when people are buying. Okay, they're going to go online. They're going to get educated. They're going to go to YouTube. They're going to go to Google. They're going to go to Facebook. They're going to go wherever they're going to go. They're going to figure out what it is. How does it work? Is it important? Do I need it? Which one do I want? Where can I get it? And they're ready to go. Okay, all you have to do is be there to catch it. The problem is, what most businesses don't understand is sales process is dying. Buyer process is in. In the old days, you used to have a force of salespeople. You go out and sell stuff. You beat on them. You hammer on them. You sell them stuff. That's not the way that it works anymore. The way that it works now is customers get online. They got kind of an idea what they want to do, what they want to get. They get online. They search. They self-educate themselves. They research. They figure out what it is that they want. They boil it down, compare the products between each other. They decide what it is they want. They make a decision that they're going to buy it, and they purchase it. They buy it either online or they buy it for the most competitive price, the person that's nearby that's going to give them the best service. So if you think like a buyer and how searchers are working now, you're going to sell like a rock star. Now, this is a part that not a lot of people talk about, but this is huge. Online reputation management. This has become so huge in about the last year. If you go out and you look for your business online, how many people can tell me that they know that they have at least 3 good stars about their business? How many have no clue? I've never looked. Never looked. Okay. People make decisions on how you're ranked and what your status is online. If I go online and I'm going to book a hotel in St. Louis and I go on and I start going through orbitz.com, I'm not going to click on anything less than 3 stars. I'll start at 4 and I'll work my way down until I can find something I like. But I'm not going to click on 1 and go to it. I'm not even going to look at 1, right? There's a lot of businesses that are out there that just don't even have a clue as to how this works and how damaging this can be to your business. This is the same client, met with them, wanted me to redo their marketing, wanted me to help them with their website, wanted me to help them with their branding, get more people into the store. No problem, except for this. Your customers are going to go here. What's the very first thing they say? I don't know if some of you can see what that word says right there, but that's what they see when they go. You know what they do? They go to Body and Soul. Right? They're going somewhere else. They're going to Foot Locker. They're not coming in. There's your first problem right there. Second problem is your website links to your Amazon store. How can I buy shoes locally if I don't even know where your store's at and I click on it, it takes me to Amazon? So these are just some basic things. They didn't even know these reviews were there. They had no clue, never even looked, and they were floored. I mean, what can you do? You got to fix it, right? So we're going through a huge process right now to get them schooled, not only with their customers, but to change the way they operate in their business, to make sure that customers leave satisfied, to make sure that none of their salespeople get them upset, and all of these things. Because if you've got 10 reviews online and 8 of them are 1 star, chances are they're not going to come into your business. Online marketing 7 benefits. Here's boiled down. If I had to boil it down, you can basically have all of the information about your products and services on your website, even if it's a 1-pager. That is your number 1 selling tool. You can put as much information about what you do on there as you possibly can so that people can get educated and you have to do less selling. Demographics are hyper-targeted. You can go on Facebook and you can advertise to a 18 to 24-year-old in Herrick that is only single, that is only interested in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Literally, you can do that. Okay? Now, the only one might be only 2 people there, but you can target to that level. It's crazy what you can get down to. Everything that you do online is measurable. Every click is measurable. It's all real-time measurable. You can see it as it's happening. I can literally pull up a computer screen right here for you and show a website where people are clicking on it and going to pages and going to it. It's real stuff. It's less intrusive on your customers. There's no hard sales process. They get the majority of the information they need. They call you up, you fill in the blanks, you sell. Attention grabbing. You can get as crazy as you want online. You're not restricted to typical marketing campaigns and the things that you might want to do on TV. There's really no bounds on the internet. You can say and do basically whatever you want to. So you can get pretty creative and test things there much more cost effectively than you could on TV, where you're taking stabs in the dark. You can change this immediately if you see that it's not working within a day. It doesn't cost you anything to change it. You get a lot of long-term exposure, and the pricing is very, very clear. And of course, the price is far less. But as I said, BlackBerry guy, I had to get with the times because the fact of the matter is, when it comes to any business right now, pioneers are going to live and the settlers are not going to make it. You've got to be ready to go. You've got to be prepared for change. And as you can see, I've got the picture of the BlackBerry up there. 9 months ago, BlackBerry was hot. Where's that now? It's done. And it can change just like that fast. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to kind of walk you through some simple things, 6 steps that you can do over the weekend that will get you rolling in the right direction and get you headed where you want to go, okay? The first one is embracing technology. If you do not have a smartphone yet, go get one. All of your customers probably have one, okay? They're free. Tablet, you can go buy a tablet for 50 cents a day. You can buy them for less. Sometimes you can get them for free if you get them in a giveaway or you grab them from your kid, they got it shoved in the drawer, it's an old one. One of the things that I'm doing with some of my customers right now, just did this out at the winery with Tina and Louie. We took a tablet, we put it on the bar, we put a guest book, and people come in there, they get themselves a wine while they're standing at the counter waiting on their wine. They put their name in, they put in one thing that they like about the winery, maybe one thing that they can do better, and they get about 100 people on their email list a week. That's a lot of people, right? And when you got that email list and you can continue to send marketing to them, you can send them notifications and say, hey, here's what's going on this weekend. We're having Blues Fest out there. And you can create that 2-way rapport with them and let them know at the push of a button everything that's going on. So this is just one of many, many, many ways that you can use to kind of get your business going in the right direction with technology. Explore internet marketing, Google advertising, Facebook advertising, PayPal, taking PayPal credits, taking payments with your phone. There's lots of different things that you can do. Some people don't like this. They're scared of it. It makes them nervous, but this is just a couple things right out of the gate that you can look at that can make buying easier on your customers so that it's effortless, so that there's no friction in your sales process, and it's just a smooth transaction for them. Get your business online. If you have a website that looks like this, or you're advertising on a website that looks like this, stop. Fix it immediately. This is doing more damage for your business, and I see businesses with websites worse than this every day. They come to your thing, they click it, they see it, they don't like it. I've got customers that we've just done nothing simple but swapped out their website and put a professional looking website on. Sometimes customers just go there, they spot check, they look to see if the website is halfway decent. They say, yeah, it looks good. I'm going to pick up and I'm going to give them a call. It looks better than 80% of the other ones that I clicked on that look like this, right? So it's just basic stuff. This is not anything that's overly elaborate, but these are just the things that are obvious. Now, how many people in here have ever claimed an online listing or filled an online listing form out for their business? Anybody? That's good, because Google, Yahoo, and Bing, all three, have a free place where you can go either list your business if it doesn't exist yet, or you can claim a listing that already exists. All you have to do is go create an account. You go to Google Places, you go to Google Yahoo Local, and you go to Bing Local. You create an account. You search for your business in their section. It will come up. And if it comes up, it'll probably give you an option just to verify your number on the phone. These are free. And when you've claimed these, your business will come up right here in these listings. You don't have to have anything. You can point it to your Facebook page. You can point it to anything you want to get started, but these are free. It's got your business name. It's got all this, and when they click and they come in here, it will show them your telephone number, your hours of operation. You can have some pictures in there. You can do all this stuff for free. It doesn't cost you a penny. This is a big deal. Most business owners, as you can see, don't know about this. It's probably one of the best kept secrets on there. You can optimize these, make them come up. You can put all kinds of stuff on there. So if you don't have a website, you can even use these as long as you get something out there so that when people are looking for you, they can find you. Get social. If you don't have a Facebook page, make one for your business. If you don't have time to manage it, hire a kid, a high school kid, a friend, somebody, and get pictures on there and get engaged with local people and build your business. Take pictures. If I sell something to somebody, if I'm Bill and I sell a car to somebody, take a picture with that customer and put it up there and say, hey, Bobby Joe, I just sold Bobby Joe this brand new car. Come see us up here. Boom, boom, boom. Put your website address on there. Click on it if you want more information, or put your telephone number. People will call you. I'm telling you. They're sitting on Facebook, they're doing nothing, or they're sneaking at work, or they're doing whatever they do, and they see that and they go, oh, you know what? I got a friend that needs that. Let me call them right now. I see it all the time. It's crazy. Post to it twice a week. Don't just put it out there and let it sit. You got to keep it fresh. You got to keep your information on there. This stuff works. There's a few things that you should know when you post on Facebook. Always give a call to action. Don't just post something out there that's boring. Give them a call to action. Sold John a new car, telephone number, blah, blah, blah. Come on in today. We got free oil changes till Friday, or whatever it is, right? Give them some kind of call to action to make them pick up the phone that's time sensitive, that makes them want to pick up the phone and call you and engage with you. Get mobile. If your customers don't exist, they can't find you. When you go claim these free listings, they will come up in the mobile search, whether they're searching for restaurants in Shelbyville, Illinois, if they're coming down and visiting Lake Shelbyville, or maybe somebody is in Shelbyville and they just type in eye doctor. It'll come up, right? It's all based upon where your phone is and where your location is. So your information will come up. Now, with that, in closing, as I said earlier, we cannot focus on past success. Never, ever, ever say never. There's been so many times that I've said, that's never going to work. It works. And you got to play where the puck is going to be. Because I always say, if your business isn't growing, it's dying. That's the fact, right? Why would you want to be in business if your business isn't growing? You want to continue to grow and do it. Any questions from anybody? I know I went fast, but I didn't want anybody to fall asleep because everybody ate and everybody looks thirsty. People are searching online. If they can't find your business, they won't call you. I mean, that's a simple fact. They do. I have 2 or 3 smaller businesses in Shelbyville that you would think this would never work for. They probably get about 35 or 40 visitors a month to their website. And I can see when it happens. Monday, when their stuff is broken, it's been the weekend, they've called, nobody's answered, and the first thing they do is they call in Monday morning because they want X, Y, and Z repaired. Every business has their patterns, and everybody is different. So in closing, if anybody would like this, I will give you the opportunity. You can send me an email, or I'll give you my card after the end. I will send you just a very basic checklist that you can go through from a business perspective that will give you some ideas on things that you can do for your marketing. And I will also email you a copy of my book that talks all about marketing, the different types of marketing, how internet marketing can help your business. I will email that to you. It's very easy. You can probably sit down and read it in an hour. It's nothing crazy. Okay? Any other questions?
No, thank you, Brian.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.